Have things gone really cool in space? My name is Wade Wallaby, and welcome to another documentary, whatever you call it. Now, there have been a lot of cool things I've been working on. I've been basically off a little bit because I've been watching these amazing things and, of course, working on other stuff. And I also will talk about what I, recently do. Now, obviously, if you never heard, for you people that know about space really well, but for you that are really new about space, I just fresh in this channel, then I'll explain. But I won't explain such as orbital mechanics because that would take forever. You guys can actually learn it pretty much anywhere. For example, Scott Manley, which he will explain, but probably everyday astronaut. But you could just search it up and you can find other people that can well be a more teacher-like substance and teach you. But if you don't understand, there's also other people, millions of people that can teach you. Maybe. But first of all, I'm going to talk about the SpaceX Dragon capsule. Actually, cargo ship. I apologize. Cargo ship was basically of the CRS 19. Now, of course, this was, I think, the fourth launch of any rocket live. Fourth or fifth, maybe. Because I watched SpaceX 1 live, another one, which was in 2018 of May 5th. I watched the InSight launch, Mars Lander. I also watched it live when it landed. I also watched Flyby of New Horizon live, I think. But that was my first one. Then I watched the almost live coverage of the 2017 on September 5th or September 15 or somewhere around there, that the Cassini probe entered Saturn's atmosphere. So I watched a lot of live stuff, coverage. New Horizon Flyby in 2015, I actually did watch that. That was actually my first how I got into this program, just because of Angry Bird Space. That's what got started. I pretty much know a lot of it more than pretty much what it does, and there's no updates from it. I don't play it because there's always an ad on there, so that's why I always turn off the Wi-Fi. There's no ad. It's just unacceptable. So that's why I don't play Angry Birds anymore, because of ads and crashes, and my iPad just can't handle this anymore like it would used to. I know. I could play. But for now, we're talking about science, real life things. So yeah, it finally took 2 days, which I was right. But of course, I was so excited that I decided to give my, I should say, boss slash Mr. Thompson, which he is actually the Bubba West assistant principal for education things, for disability stuff, and I work for him. So when I'm at work, or Bubba West, which is actually a high school that I used to go, that why they call it West? Well, there's East and West. Belleville East is my mom went to. She actually drove a bus for until 2007, until she got cancer. Then she had to cancel everything. And of course, she learned later on, like just recently, that they took her CDL license because she was sick permanently. Actually, she's on disability permanently. She would never recover. But if there is, maybe someday that they'll figure out, put a robot esophagus thing, because once that other esophagus goes, she's going to have to go life support. And I don't want to see my mom laying down in the bed permanently. Yeah, it would be awful. So, or of course, she has a tumor. But the most important thing is, everybody was so fascinated that I knew this was going to come. So the stream started way like 30 hours, or wait, 18 hours, I think. And I'm like, all right, okay. So I knew it was going to come. And then I thought it was going to stream as soon as I was leaving. But I was lucky. I was so lucky that I had enough time to watch it live. However, it seemed like that when Mr. Thompson put it on this computer, I watched it on my iPod, but it was completely delayed. But his, since it was on the, wired in and stuff, it was right there. So I was like 5 minutes delay, or a minute of a delay. That's a long time. So I thought I was not even watching a launch, but they were watching a launch, and I wasn't even watching a launch. So Then it got to be very popular. Teachers and even people decided to come into his office to watch it. I had to explain everything. Um, and then next day, which of course this was Friday since it was streamed on Thursday, I think. I think it was on Thursday, and then it was Friday. Even the, I should say, assistant principal, Miss Gillett, she actually was so proud and so excited to just want to tell me, but I couldn't tell her. She wanted to see about the docking and stuff, but it already happened 2 days later, which I think it was today, I think, because that's how it is. That time flew by fast, it seemed like. But yeah, she is like the next of the almost main principal. So that is a big deal. If she is actually excited, unless if she because she's interested in me, then that means that something is going to happen really soon. But I don't get my hopes up. I'm just doing my job, and just people are interested. Of course, maybe finally they won't say no, except just say, "Oh, I don't care about that. We're this class, because it seems like there is a tiny, 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 tiny bit, unless if you're in astronomy class, which is a club. But I actually went there a few times, but since the dates were only Friday at the morning, I stopped going there. Even though I loved it, it was just the time was so ridiculous. So even though I was in a club, I decided not quit because theoretically, even though I was in these clubs, I just couldn't take it. I had to do things. And if okay, so back to gaming. I should say to gaming. Also Progress Rocket did launch. For some reason, they don't stream it on YouTube at all. They stream it on a different type of stream area, which probably will have commercials, which is probably very not my friendly thing because I have premium. Yes, and I did have premium in the other one, and that we have to still pay for it, even though that's useless. So technically, YouTube is scamming me, which in the term, yes, that is technically scamming. And don't you think that should be something to worry about YouTube? Because scamming is not your like thing, unless if you want to turn it off, but I don't think so, because the only way to get in there is you have to sign into YouTube and literally have disabled it. But I can't even get into YouTube, let alone and that. So yeah, you messed up on that, YouTube. Maybe you should fix that. So anywho, I decided to basically get a new game, which probably would be ridiculous of why would you even get this? But I just wanted to see if it changed Gary's mod. It didn't change it at all. It did, but a little bit. Since I have Half-Life Deathmatch Source, I decided to get Half-Life Source. Since I have Half-Life Source right now, I have pretty much all of it except for the Counter-Strike things. I'm not going to get the Counter-Strike because I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to use to basically, because some of the maps on Gary's mod do need to acquire that to make sure there's no errors and stuff. I do got like freaking, all of that stuff, but not Counter-Strike. I just don't know what to pick. There's Counter-Strikes everywhere. And when you are Counter-Strike, you most likely get very bullied and stuff. Because I realized in Counter-Strike, even though it's in the Valve game, I decided not to use it unless if I really need to. But for right now, I'm not going to use Counter-Strike. But if you guys really want me to, I will happy to download it and buy it just for you guys. But for right now, I can't because I don't want to do this and that. It's going to do something. There are going to be more scammers looking for me because if I have unusuals, whatever they have on there, because I know about Team Fortress 2. So yeah, it's going to be a double whammy because they're going to look for, because they see my 2 unusuals and they're picking on me. They're focused on those and they really want those unusuals, which how about just try and play the game? And some of these scammers don't even own the game, which is just screwed up. Sometimes they don't. But I really don't care when I go on profile. I decided every time somebody talks to me, I might as well go into profile. And sometimes they always say rep. I don't know what that means, but every time they're on a trading profile, they say die, like rest in peace. I don't know why they say that, but it's rep. I guess it's something else. But I'm just going to guess that person, all those people are saying to them, rest in peace, which makes no sense, which is probably very cruelty of a person to do that, which they should say, why would you even scam me? That is just rude. Instead of just saying, rest in peace. You did a really good job. So pretty much, I guess scammers are dead already and they're just, what's?
They're saying it to get to you.
Get ghosts? Maybe I'm going to call scammers ghosts for now on because I think because if they're making this fun, I think scammers are ghosts. Maybe that's why people say that ghost such thing because I think that pretty much that if they're saying that just for they always say that in the comment section below.
RIP.
Rip. So
why? Because they want to get to you and it is getting to you.
It's not me, it's other people. Now mom doesn't know about what I'm talking about, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. For so long I did it.
It doesn't matter who it is. The scammers are saying it to just get one last word in that will
Mom, you don't understand. Look.
Okay, sorry.
So I was saying that possibly that is why. But for now, I don't have experience anybody that's trying to message me unless I actually noticed that 2 friends actually added me on, I should say, Steam. So I'm saying that they were on the server, so they were just not scammers. How do I know? Well, still, I don't trust anyone. Unless if I physically see someone, yet again, if I really want to trust somebody to trade somebody, I have to physically look at their face and know where they live and know who they are. Which that has to be the problem because I don't know who they are. Even though if I see them do it, I would love to see them literally a computer right next to me, having, computer over here, literally no just eye contact with it, which makes no sense because why would I even bring my entire computer over to it? Yeah. But if they have a laptop, they can bring it to my house. We could start trading. Then I can directly see them, what they're doing without any screen. So that is the only reason that I would trade. Now, if you're just saying, hey, I want to trade you for money.
That's good advice for
I have a buttload of money and I just...
Especially right now because they're so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe later on down the road, a couple of years when they finally get, people are finally, just figured them out. But right now, you're absolutely right. That's very good advice for anybody because, you don't know. Like you said, unless you can see their face and you actually know them, you recognize them. Even if they're not.
So if your guys want me to trade or anything, I suggest you contact me. At least try to know where I live, which I always have our information on Steam except for my address. That is the only thing. Unless if we know each other like a friend, I will accept. But if you're a faraway person, I don't know that you know much.
Even like somebody in the United States is more trustworthy. I'm not saying that they wouldn't scam, but anybody overseas, like you said, in a third world country,
you don't trust them.
Forget,
I know that sounds racist, but these people are kind of a bit rude, and they want to make sure because they have a poor country and they don't know because they want money and pretty much.
Yeah, they don't even have the money really to even stay on Steam. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the money.
Yeah, that's why. Good point. Because if they are complaining. Which they could have just get a job, which probably don't have enough jobs in good for countries like that.
That is their job, scamming. So if they don't make money, which they really don't make a whole.
Unless if they do drugs, which they waste money and then they do this.
Yeah, they definitely do drugs because
unless if they're a communist and they drain their money up everything, which probably,
because they're sad, they have to have
they don't know what to do because they
to suppress their sadness. Depression because they have there's
medicine for that, but they're in that country at like a bad society as they are. Yeah, that doesn't mean just because we're a good country. If you look very closely, as American citizen, as I've been in this country since 18 years, I think that America is pretty getting a little bit of a step back of how politics work. Pretty much, like I said before, it's going to be downhill, but Donald Trump will fix that. But people think that Donald Trump is bad, but he literally is making freaking North Korea and South Korea friendly so they can pass through. How can you say that doesn't, come on. even Obama didn't even care about it, and they were just going to nuke us.
Obama made it a mess. He basically, everybody knows that.
I
And
mean,
so
her.
anybody that came in, Trump or anybody, you know, has a really hard job.
Though we were supposed to be talking about space, the title of the stream was about space. So why are we talking about politics? I don't know. She started it, and I started.
didn't start it. I did not. In fact, I was getting ready to say, don't talk about
Whose
politics.
little dog is that?
Don't talk about politics. What color is it?
I don't know. I don't care.
Is somebody
So
walking?
that's about space. Sorry, I had to get in
Is
this
it by
little mess,
itself or
but we'll
somebody
talk about it in
walking?
another stream
Wait.
maybe.
Is it random or is it somebody walking it?
Someone's